You are different now. You've stepped into a higher version of yourself, no longer resonating with the low vibrational energy that once surrounded you. The pain, confusion, and heartbreak that used to weigh heavily on your soul have slowly dissolved as you've healed and realigned with your inner strength. You've learned to release the past, to let go of resentment, and to embrace the beauty of your own spiritual evolution. Every challenge you faced was a stepping stone toward the peace and balance you now embody. You are no longer the same person you were before. You've grown wiser, stronger, and more connected to your divine essence. Your energy radiates healing, and your presence carries a calm that comes only from deep inner work and spiritual awakening. While you are thriving in your newfound balance, your person, on the other hand, is struggling. Sleepless nights have become their constant companion as they lie awake, haunted by memories of you and the moments they took for granted. They replay conversations, decisions, and actions over and over, trying to pinpoint exactly where things fell apart. Their mind races with thoughts of how they could have done better, how they could have treated you with more care, more patience, and more love. They now realize that their ego and pride stood in the way of true happiness, creating distance where there should have been connection. Deep down, they know they have to make things right, but the fear of rejection and the weight of guilt hold them back. Whether you notice it or not, your person is going through an intense transformation of their own. They are shedding old habits, toxic behaviors, and negative influences that once clouded their judgment. It's as if the universe is forcing them to face themselves, to confront the pain they caused and to understand the depth of what they lost. Their life is being cleansed and rearranged, not out of coincidence, but as part of a divine process of awakening. They are being guided to heal, to grow, and to realign with their higher self. And through it all, one truth remains: they are still deeply in love with you. This love continues to motivate them to become a better person, not just for you, but for themselves. They are preparing for reconciliation, hoping that someday, somehow, the universe will give them another chance to make things right. But this transformation hasn't come easily. The karmic consequences of their past actions are now surfacing, and the lessons are heavy. They are facing the full weight of their decisions, realizing that by breaking the soul contract you both shared, they walked away from one of the greatest blessings the universe ever offered them: unconditional love. This realization hits them harder with each passing day. The happiness they once felt in your presence has turned into emptiness, and the peace you brought into their life has been replaced by chaos and regret. Your person's betrayal may have wounded you deeply, but it also became the catalyst for your growth. In the moments of pain, you found your power. Where you once felt broken, you rebuilt yourself stronger than before. Their actions unknowingly pushed you toward your spiritual awakening, toward a deeper understanding of your worth and your purpose. You emerged resilient, self-aware, and aligned with your truth. Meanwhile, your person is left to confront the emptiness that comes from losing someone who loved them with pure, genuine energy. Now, they are emotionally drained, carrying a heavy heart filled with remorse. They are haunted by what-ifs and could-have-beens. There's a deep, aching sadness within them, the kind that comes from realizing too late that they had something rare and sacred. Their mind and soul are burdened with regret, and they find themselves longing for the warmth and peace that only your presence brought. It's as though every corner of their life reminds them of you, and no matter how much they try to distract themselves, they can't escape the pull of the connection. Depression has settled into their days, leaving them restless and searching for meaning. They miss the sound of your voice, the comfort of your understanding, and the way your energy once filled the spaces around them with light. They can no longer find that same peace elsewhere. You were the calm in their storm, the grounding force in their chaos, and without you, everything feels uncertain and incomplete. They now understand that losing you wasn't just losing a relationship, it was losing their anchor, their mirror, and their divine counterpart. They feel as though they have nothing left to lose now because the most precious part of their life has already slipped away. You were not just another person to them, you were the embodiment of love, joy, and spiritual abundance. Your presence brought harmony and blessings into their world, and your absence has created a void that nothing else can fill. They finally see what they were blind to before, that true love isn't found in fleeting connections or superficial attachments, but in the rare bond that exists between two souls who were meant to grow together. This awakening, though painful, is leading them toward redemption. The universe is teaching them that love is not something to take for granted, that every soul connection carries purpose, and that healing must come from within. As they continue to face their karma and unravel the lessons of their past, they are slowly beginning to understand the depth of your connection and the divine reason it entered their life. And you, the healed, evolved version of yourself, continue to rise above it all. You've reclaimed your power, embraced your peace, and found beauty in your journey. Whether reconciliation comes or not, you've already won. You've transcended the pain, transformed the energy, and turned heartbreak into spiritual growth. Your light now shines brighter than ever, guiding not only yourself but also those still finding their way out of the darkness. I know you're tired of waiting. I can feel the exhaustion in the silence that stretches between us, the kind of silence that speaks louder than words ever could. You fought so hard for me, for us, holding on when I gave you so little reason to. And all I did in return was let you slip away, slowly, painfully, until I couldn't even recognize the person I had become. It hurts me to admit that I was the one who pushed away the very person who loved me the most. I hate feeling drained from thinking about all the things I could have done differently, all the moments where I could have chosen love over pride, patience over anger, and honesty over fear. But I can't stop replaying them in my mind, like scenes from a movie I can't turn off. I keep telling myself that this feeling will eventually pass, that maybe one day, I'll wake up and the heaviness in my chest will finally ease. But deep down, I'm still holding on to the smallest flicker of hope. Hope that life will somehow give me another chance to prove my love to you, to show you that I've grown, that I finally understand what it means to truly care for someone beyond my own insecurities. I want the chance to be close to you again, not just physically, but emotionally, to rebuild the trust once shattered and the connection I took for granted. You have no idea what I've gone through since rejecting your love. I thought I was doing the right thing at the time, convincing myself that I needed space, or that maybe you deserved better. But the truth is, I was scared of being vulnerable, scared of letting someone see me at my weakest. And now, I'm paying the price for that fear. The last few months have been nothing short of torture. There are nights when sleep refuses to come because my mind is haunted by your voice, your laughter, and all the words I never said when I had the chance. Every day feels like an endless cycle of hoping and hurting. I keep praying for a sign from you, anything that tells me you still think of me. I wait for a message, a call, even a simple notification that could break the stillness. I find myself checking my phone every hour, every day, as if somehow staring at the screen hard enough might make your name appear. But all I'm met with is silence, cold, unforgiving silence that reminds me that I'm the one who created this distance. I know you felt heartbroken after what I did and how I behaved. I can't even blame you for walking away. If I were in your place, I probably would have done the same. I hate that instead of showing you love and affection, the kind of love you gave me so effortlessly, I responded with anger, frustration, and jealousy. I built walls instead of bridges, and I let my fears dictate my actions. I didn't realize how much my own insecurities were poisoning the beautiful thing we had. Don't get me wrong, I love seeing you happy. Even now, when I see glimpses of your smile, or hear about your successes, a part of me swells with pride. You deserve every bit of the joy that comes your way. But at the same time, there's this deep ache inside me, a fear that someone else will come along and love you the way I should have. What if they see in you everything I once did, and more? What if they're patient where I was reckless, gentle where I was cold, understanding where I was stubborn? The thought of losing you completely, of seeing you build a life without me, feels unbearable. I've spent so much time reflecting, replaying our conversations, and realizing how much I misunderstood what love truly is. Love isn't about control or possession, it's about trust, patience, and vulnerability. You taught me that, even when I didn't want to learn it. And though I didn't appreciate it then, I do now, with every fiber of my being. I can see now how much you gave, your time, your energy, your forgiveness, while I was too caught up in my own storms to notice. I wish I could go back and undo the damage I caused. I wish I could hold you and tell you that I finally understand the weight of your love, the value of your presence. But life doesn't give us do-overs, only lessons. And this one has been the hardest I've ever had to learn. Still, I can't let go of the hope that maybe, someday, our paths will cross again. Maybe we'll find each other at a time when we're both healed, when the pain has faded, and when I can finally love you the way you always deserved. Until then, I'll keep trying to become a better version of myself, not just for you, but because you inspired me to. You showed me what real love looks like, even when I was too blind to see it. And if I ever get the chance to stand before you again, I want to be able to look you in the eyes and say, without hesitation, that I'm ready this time, ready to give my all, ready to love without fear, and ready to never let you slip away again. When you walked away, it created one of the most difficult and transformative moments in your partner's life. They never truly expected you to leave. In their mind, you were the one who would always stay, the one who would continue to forgive, to understand, and to carry the weight of the relationship no matter how heavy it became. But when you finally chose to walk away, it shook the very foundation of their world. They were left standing in the silence you left behind, forced to confront the emptiness that used to be filled by your love, your patience, and your warmth. For the first time, they had to see what life looked like without you, and it was far colder and lonelier than they ever imagined. In the beginning, your partner didn't know how to handle that loss. Instead of facing their pain, they reacted with anger, pride, and denial. They did countless things to hurt you, sometimes intentionally, sometimes out of their own confusion and fear. They thought that if they could make you hate them, it would make it easier for you to move on, or perhaps it would ease their guilt for losing someone so genuine. They wanted to convince themselves that you were the problem, that you were overly sensitive or dramatic. But deep down, they knew the truth. You had only ever asked for love, honesty, and effort, things they were not ready or mature enough to give at that time. When you finally decided to stop giving your attention and energy to the relationship, something inside of them shifted. The silence that followed your withdrawal became louder than any argument you had ever had. They began to see how wrong they had been, how their actions had pushed away the very person who cared the most for them. It wasn't until you completely detached that they began to understand the depth of your love and the magnitude of their mistakes. Your absence became their greatest teacher. Meanwhile, you took that same silence and turned it into power. Your glow-up wasn't about revenge or proving a point, it was about reclaiming yourself. You started to rebuild, piece by piece, beginning with your own heart. You faced the pain that came with separation, but instead of letting it destroy you, you used it as fuel to heal and grow. You focused on your inner world first, nurturing your peace, connecting with your higher self, and learning to forgive not just them, but yourself too. You began to see your worth more clearly than ever before. This transformation radiated outward. Spiritually, you found strength and clarity. You started to attract positive energy, people, and experiences that matched your newfound vibration. You let go of old patterns and embraced a version of yourself that was wiser, calmer, and more grounded. Materially, blessings began to flow your way as well. New opportunities appeared, and success started to follow you effortlessly because you were aligned with your true purpose. Everything you lost began to be replaced with something better, not because you chased it, but because you healed enough to receive it. Your partner could sense this change even from afar. They may not have said it out loud, but they felt it. They could see it in the way you carried yourself, in your confidence, in your peace. There was something almost otherworldly about your energy now, as if you had divine protection surrounding you. It was clear that you were no longer the same person who once cried for their love. You had risen from your own ashes, and that kind of transformation doesn't happen without grace and the blessings of the universe. The way you came out of darkness and pain took immense strength. It required discipline, faith, and the courage to face your own reflection. It wasn't easy to rebuild yourself from the ground up, but you did it, not for them, but for you. The universe saw your efforts, your tears, and your prayers, and now it's rewarding you with peace and abundance. Justice has arrived, not as revenge, but as balance. What was taken from you in pain is now being returned to you in blessings. And now, your partner is finally seeing things clearly. They realize that losing you was not just losing a person, it was losing their mirror, their balance, their source of emotional grounding. You changed their entire life, even without being there. Your growth has forced them to confront their own patterns, their own fears, and the parts of themselves they once ignored. Now they are the ones who feel the emptiness, the longing, the ache you once felt. They are beginning to understand that no amount of material success or external validation can replace the connection they had with you. They see now that what you gave them was pure, something rooted in genuine love and authenticity. And as they watch you thrive, a mix of admiration and regret fills their heart. They know that they may never find someone like you again, someone who loved them through their flaws, who believed in their potential, and who stayed loyal even when things got hard. But you are no longer waiting for them to see your value. You've already proven it to yourself. Your glow-up is your justice. Your peace is your reward. And your growth, both spiritual and material, is your testimony. You've learned that walking away wasn't an ending, but a beginning. It was the moment you chose yourself over pain, healing over chaos, and peace over proving a point. Now, as your partner stands in the shadow of their own choices, they can feel the power of your transformation. They realize that they need you more than any material achievement or fleeting success. Yet, you no longer need their validation. You've become whole on your own, guided and protected by something far greater than either of you ever understood before.